Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a very special Purim edition of the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm your host, Rolene Marks, and many of you might be asking, why on earth is she dressed as a Batwoman? Well, tonight and tomorrow is the Jewish festival of Purim, and it is customary to dress up in fancy costumes. It commemorates the ancient story of Purim. We're not going to get into too much detail here, but if you aren't familiar, I urge you to Google Purim, P-U-R-I-M, and check out the story there. And as usual, I'll be bringing you today's top stories. Now, the top story actually does have something to do with the Purim story, and it takes place in Iran. Now, the Purim story took place in the ancient kingdom of Persia under the King Ahasuerus, who in his time wanted to eliminate the Jewish people. And I know many of you are Googling the Purim story there, but I won't go into too much detail. But it does draw parallels with modern day Iran, where we continuously hear from the leaders that Israel is a cancer to be wiped off the face of the earth. We see it with the nuclear program and their intentions by parading their ballistic missiles through the streets of Tehran, and they're calling, like they did yesterday, for continued curses on the United States and Israel. But in something truly touching, the people of Iran have taken to social media at great risk to themselves and have shown their solidarity and their sympathy for the victim of Sunday's terror attack at Ariel Junction, Rabbi Aviv Ettinger, a 47-year-old father of 12. Many of the citizens of Iran have been profoundly moved and hurt by the news of his passing and the circumstances in which they happened, and have expressed their solidarity. And we cannot forget that there was another victim as well, 19-year-old soldier Gal Kaidan. May their memories be blessed. Moving further afield to the United States, and do we have an answer to Ilhan Omar? Now, Ilhan Omar is a congresswoman for the Democratic Party. She represents the state of Minnesota, and she's created and caused a lot of controversy over the last couple of months by tweeting out comments that are seen as profoundly anti-Semitic, saying that Jews have dual loyalties, saying that, it's all about the Benjamins, this kind of lobbying efforts. But what it has done is it has exposed that perhaps Congress is changing, that alliances are changing. And in answer to that, Jeff Mendelson, who is a member of AIPAC, he was their outreach director, he has started, along with some other founders, a group called Pro-Israel America. Now, this small group will operate specifically in the political sphere and will seek to grow and to educate members of Congress about Israel, about the situation, and to ensure that the links between the United States and Israel remain forever strong. And taking another trip around the world and coming back home here to Israel. And the top story today across many newspapers is the fact that Tel Aviv has been voted the 10th most expensive city to live in. Now, during the last survey, Tel Aviv ranked in at number 9. This year, it has slipped down to number 10, perhaps a very good thing. But it has been found that there are several factors that contribute to Tel Aviv being very, very high on the list. Several factors that include the cost of rents, the cost of living, the cost of entertainment and food, the cost of transport as well, especially with regards to running a car, which is why the city of Tel Aviv have so many solutions in place. Also, Tel Aviv was voted one of the most expensive cities to buy alcohol. There you go. That's what the survey says. Don't forget that you can check out more of Lay of the Land's awesome content online at www.layoftheland.online. Tonight you can check out a very, very moving tribute to a very special man. Kathy Kaler, the CEO of Chai FM and a broadcaster in South Africa, has written a very, very touching tribute to Moses Moyo, a journalist. He wasn't Jewish, but he really, really loved the Jewish people, supported the state of Israel, and he passed away suddenly last year. And on Friday, Kathy ran the Jerusalem Marathon in his honor, and you can read her very, very moving tribute. Also, don't forget to join our growing Facebook community. You can do so at Lottle's site, or search Facebook for Lay of the Land. You can't miss our gorgeous brand new logo. And don't forget, if you want to listen to your daily news headlines, simply click on the subscribe button below or on the little notification bell to receive your headlines. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, and I'm wishing you all Chag Purim Sameach.